Good afternoon. It's coming to 4 o'clock. Just finished my shift at Dinty's. I walked home. You had it earlier today. Yeah, usually when I finish my shift at Dinty's, I arrive home at like 4. I arrived home at like 3:30, 3:25 or whatever it is. Yeah. Was today busy at Dinty's? Today was okay. It was pretty busy, but I got my Dinty's food. Yeah. I might go upstairs and get some food when I make this video, obviously. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed my video I made yesterday. I'm now sick. I know. I talk about my book Xanus. Xanus will be the best fantasy novel written when you read it. You know. Xanus will be the best fantasy novel written. There's a reason why the gatekeepers want to control your brand item, but they're not touching down my money, man. It's zero, man. Money is for me, BJ. It's not for you. You're not touching my money, man. No fucking way. Not after what you put me through, man. I'm not selling to you wicked. I'm not selling to you wicked devils, man. You guys are wicked people. You're devils. I'm not selling my soul to you guys and have you do like that and take our money. You crazy and have a garbage wife and share. You're crazy, man. No. My father gave me the keys to the kingdom, which means I don't have to sell to you. I wrote this in his book. It's my brand. You're not touching my money, man. Zero. Yeah. The 10 billion off my book, you're not touching. Because I might make 10 off the book, right? The 10 billion off the book is for me, BJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy psychopath, man. All the money in the world goes to you. Those trillions, this money you're not touching. It's my money, not yours. You're not touching it. And they get pissed off and they start threatening me to scare me. And even then, I'm like, no, I'm not selling to you. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. Something fucking scary, yeah. I'm brave. I'm like, no, I'm not selling, dude. Ivan, you made your choice. You're gonna suffer the consequence for this. Because the gates are pretty much giving me your choice. Yeah, either you bow to us, Ivan, or you die. No one in this world fucks with my money. Because I'm God, I'm special. I have the keys again. They know I'm the only one who could beat them and control my money. Hence why they gave me the choices. Either you bow to us and you share with your garbage region, we put you in Hollywood, and we sabotage your career. They're gonna sabotage my career. Or if you want your financial control and own the rights to your Zane's man, get rid of your fresh stuff, you have to die for it, Ivan. I choose the other choice. I'm brave, yeah. Because I know you guys are gonna do me if I sell. You're gonna destroy my life. I'm not gonna fucking share with a garbage wife forever. Are you fucking crazy? I'm not gonna accept that cursed deal. You're crazy, man. I'd rather be single than accept that deal. That's a cursed fucking deal, man. That's a cursed deal. I would never accept that deal, man. But you guys are blind, man. Like, you know I'm an innocent man. You know I don't struggle with sex. And because you envy me in a relationship, you're willing to have this innocent man who's a virgin. For right now, I'll get my girlfriend off. You don't hear me, you know what I'm saying? You're willing to have that man share with all generations forever. You guys are fucking crazy people, man. You're blind, man. We want a piece of you. We're fucking happy. You guys are crazy people, man. Yeah, that's not mental illness and mental issues, obviously. But I'm a good man. I don't struggle having sex with women. Like, I just get my beer and smokes, man. And I make videos on YouTube. I watch my YouTube videos. I watch stuff on YouTube. That's all I do, man. Yeah. I'm a simple-minded, good guy, right? Yeah, man. I clean my room, by the way. My room's nice and clean. I cleaned it yesterday. I got my Chromecast back. Yeah. Well, Robert, seriously, how do you do it, man? Like, how do you make your characters jump on a page? I don't know, man. It's a gift I have. I have the creative gift. I know how to hook you and tell an amazing story. I have the creative gift from the heavens, man. That's why my story is so unique. The reason why my writing style is very unique because I have the heavenly gift from the heavens. Whereas all these amazing, talented authors in the industry, obviously, you don't know guys I'm saying, they have the earthly gift, but they don't have the heavenly gift. That's why their books feel normal going to my book, because my book, I have the heavenly gift. That's why my book is unique. Because I have the gift from the heavens. They don't have the gift from the heavens. That's why they can't write like me, man. Yeah. They don't have the gift from the heavens like I do, right? Don't hit me, guys. I'm saying, yeah. But I don't get it, Ivan. Like, all these authors, all these fantasy authors, they write dialogue. But the way their dialogue flows, the characters don't only jump on the page. Or when I read your book, the characters don't want to jump on the page. How do you do that? It's a gift. I don't know how I do it, man. I just know how to make the characters jump on the page. It's a gift. I don't know how I do it. I can't tell you my trick, guys. My magic trick, right? I can't tell you my secret. I don't know the secret sauce to me writing like that. It's just a gift that I have. I write and it ends up being entertaining, and it's a gift. I have the gift, man. Yeah, the heavenly gift. As you guys read Sims in my book, yeah, everything you show us, Ivan, was fucking entertaining. I know. Ivan, you bluffing, man. Is your whole book like that? Yes, guys. I'm not lying to you. My whole book is constant entertainment, and that's why when I release my book on Lulu When I'm King, it'll be a public embarrassment in the entertainment industry. All the big book publishing companies like Penguin Random House, Macmillan, you know what I'm saying? All the biggest book publishing companies in the world, they're all gonna wish, man, I wish Ivan sold out and he worked for us, man. He'd make us so much money. Yeah, but like you're duping me. You're only making that money because of my keys, and you're taking 85% of my money and giving me 50%. You're fucking duping me. I don't need their help. I can self-publish it myself. Self-publishing, I take 80% of the profits, man, for Lulu, man. So compare the 80% I take off Lulu to the 15% they give me if I sell out. I get the peanuts, and they're taking all my money, and because of my keys, they're duping me. And that's why I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just, man, did you really want to be an author? Yes, at first I did. When I wrote Xanus, I started my series, obviously, back in 2019. I did want to. I thought, okay, well, like maybe I should just be a full-time author, just live my life with VJ and just write books, obviously. And I realized, yeah, writing books is fun. It's fun, obviously, but it's more boring. I'd rather be a movie star than write books, man. Obviously. Which is more profitable? Books, you can make more money. I think I make more money off books, obviously. You make a lot of money off books. But whereas movies, you have a higher cost, right? So you make less. But I mean, I'll make my money on some of my movies too, man. My movies, I'm gonna make a lot of money off that too. But my dream is not to be a famous professional author. My dream is to be a what? A movie star of VJ. I don't want to be an author. I only wrote Xanus. I had no choice. The gatekeepers locked everything on me, man. That's why I wrote my book Xanus. The gates not all the doors, but I never would have wrote Xanus. Or maybe I would have. I don't know. Yeah. But because the gates locked the doors, man, I had no choice but to write my last Xanus novel. Because they locked everything on me. Hence why I had to write the book. That way I have a source of income for me, VJ. And I wrote the book, which means I own the brand. The Xanus brand is mine. I own it. Because the gates are greedy psychopaths, they see my book as their money. Because this is their house. They control all the money in the world. Because they control all the money in the world, they're going to tell me, Ivan, that book that you wrote, that money belongs to us. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You didn't fucking write it. Ivan, we're the gatekeepers. This is our house. Nobody in this world deserves to control the money. I'm like, yes, I know. Nobody in this world deserves to control the money except for me. I'm God, man. I'm bigger than you. And they get all pissed off. Yeah, like, look, man, this may be your house, or you may be the God of the money system in the world, but you're not the God of the universe. You did not create this place, man. This may be your house, but you didn't create this house. You don't deserve to control my money. You're not God, man. I'm bigger than you, man. Me and VJ created the universe. You may be big and you own the whole financial system in the world. It might wow me with that. Yeah, we own everything in the world. Yeah, I know you do, but you didn't create the universe. Me and VJ created the universe, man. We're bigger than you. And you don't deserve to control our money, man. You're not touching a dollar of my money, man. Zero. I'm going to be very strict. That money off the books for me and VJ is not for you. You're not touching a dollar of my money, man. Yeah, man. And for the first time, I hear them swearing, too. Because I never heard my parents swear once in my life. because they acted as they acted as Christians. They disguised themselves as righteous Christians. I thought my stepfather was a righteous man because he'd always pray to like Jesus and everything. But I always noticed how he's always very mean to me. I'm like, he has a mean spirit. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing was an act, man. They're fucking wicked people, man. Yeah, they're actors. That's the symbols in the Bible, how they say Satan disguised himself as an angel of light. Yeah. The gatekeepers are acting. This is not who they are. They're really the gatekeepers, man. That's why I'll be blown away in shock when I find out the gatekeepers. I'm like, well, I already know the gatekeepers. Like, all right, we own everything in the world. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, that means for 40 years you hid your wealth. Me, man, you guys are evil people. You have me work dishwashing? Yeah. Yeah. So think about this, guys. The gatekeepers have, I don't know, like 80 trillion, 100, maybe 150 trillion in the bank. They're worth hundreds of trillions. They have all that money and they had me work dishwashing, man. That's how fucking wicked they are, man. They're evil people. And even when I'm poor, they take money from me. They also want to take money from me, man. Because they're crazy people. Hence why I'm not going to do it, man. The money off the books for me is not for you. Zero. You're not touching my money. It's my money, not yours. Yeah, you have your money around the world. This money off the Xanus book, my masterpiece, is me, V's money. It's not yours. You're not touching it, man. These billions are for me, VJ. It's not for you. You're going to dupe me if I sell. You're never going to let me be a billionaire. I think I'm stupid, man. You have a psychotic envy towards me, VJ. I'm not doing that, man. No way, yeah. Don't hate him, saying, yeah. Yeah. How much do you think I'm going to have a book, Ivan? 10 to 14 to 20 billion I make off the book. Yeah, maybe 10, maybe 10.7. Because Ivan, how much you make off your masterpiece, by the way, of your book, Ivan? Yeah, I made $10.8 billion. You made $10.8 billion off your book. I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, I made a lot of money. Are you gonna share that with me? I'm like, yes, honey, I'll share it with you. Relax. Are you gonna share your money with you? Yeah, I'm gonna share money with you. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah. So Ivan, yeah. So yeah. Even though death is scary, I'm not gonna fucking let the gatekeepers do that, man. Whereby you cause that mess in my life, and after causing that mess, you also want me to share with the world, and you're taking all my money, and I get a garbage VG. I'm not gonna do that, man. No way, man. Hence why they trap me with that. That way they scare the shit out of me, and I choose to sell. But even then, I'm like, nah, man. I'm not gonna let the gates win the game, man. And do like that, man. No fucking way, man. Not after what you're putting through my life, man. I'd rather wake up one day and have you doing it, man. No way. Yeah, man. Some saying, yeah. Yeah. So the gatekeepers know you wrote a masterpiece. Yes, man. I heard my stepfather. He's like, how the heck can you come up with a story like that? When they read my book, when they hacked my laptop, they obviously read some of my book, obviously. And when they read it, they were shocked. Yeah, this book is number one. And like, Ivan's fucking gifted. You wrote a masterpiece, yes. They know my book will be more popular than Harry Potter, man. Harry Potter is the most popular book series in the world. It's sold 600 million copies around the world to this day. My book will beat that. You're looking at 800, 900, even a billion, 800 million copies sold. Something crazy. 700 million copies sold. I make my 10, my 14, my 20 million off the book. Yeah, the gates want to take my money because they're fucking greedy pigs, man. No, man, you're not taking my fucking billions off my book. You have your trillions that you make around the world. These billions off the book. I don't know, the 10 billion off the book is for me, it's not you. You're not touching my money, man. You won't let me touch your money. You're not touching my money either. That's how it works, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're fucking selfish. You won't let me make money in this world when I came here with VJ. VJ sells out to you, you won't even let her be worth $100 million. And I pour my blood, sweat, into my book because you lock doors on me. And now you also want to control my brackets. You're fucking crazy. No, man, zero. You're not touching a dime off my royalties, man. It's not your money, it's mine. Don't hate us in now. I'm not going to let the gates do that, man. No way, man. I'm not selling to you wicked people. You guys are wicked people. I'm not selling to you guys, man. I want my freedom of VJ. I don't want to sell to you wicked people. Since yeah. I want my freedom of VJ. I don't want to be a dirty slave. And that's why God gave you the keys. That way you can also get your freedom with VJ. Because I didn't sell to the gatekeepers, once I pay the fee, I now get my freedom because I'm not under any gatekeeper. I didn't sell to the gatekeepers because I have my own keys. Alright, if you want to make your billions and have your freedom with VJ, you have to open your own door. That way you can control your own money. You don't have to sell to any gatekeeper. Samsara? Yeah. I want my freedom with VJ. I don't want to be a dirty slave in Hollywood. Samsara, yeah. Yeah. Will you be brave for the gates? Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking bold and brave, man. Remember Keanu Reeves in Matrix when the agents interrogated him and Keanu Reeves gives him the finger? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give the gatekeepers the finger. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm not fucking selling to you wicked people, man. You guys are wicked people. You did this evil to me during my life, man. I find out you're the gatekeepers and you're here to walk me. I'm not gonna let you take control of my money. No way. I don't want a garbage VJ sharing the world. I want VJ all fresh myself to Golden Beauty. I know you don't want me getting VJ all fresh myself to Golden Beauty. And you can't stand the fact that me VJ being billionaires. But if you don't like it, I'm sorry. We're God. We're the heirs. We deserve to live that amazing life. I control our money. You don't deserve to control our money. You didn't create this place, man. This may be your house, but you didn't create it, man. You're not the God of the universe. Me and VJ are the gods of the universe. We create the universe. And you don't deserve to control our money, man. You're just blinded by your greed sickness and your psychotic everything was because you're crazy, yeah. I'm the god of this world, Ivan. Yeah, you may be the god of the mice in the world, but you're not the god of the universe. You didn't create this place, man. Me and VJ are bigger than you, man. We created the universe. You didn't. And you don't deserve to control my money. Now, there you go. Don't hate them, son. Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to be serious with your money? Yes. I have to start saving my money because I need to pay the government back their $800, and I also need to save money for my book. Yeah. Yeah. Well, seriously, man, everything I've read so far in your book, I'm fucking impressed, man. You are an amazing storyteller. Yes, I am. And when I tell you my whole book is like that, what you guys are reading, it's the whole book is like that, man. It's constant entertainment. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. And when I release my book, it'll be a public embarrassment in the entertainment industry because I wrote a masterpiece. I wrote a masterpiece, yeah, man. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Whereby a lot of fans are going to ask me, Ivan, are you going to write more books? I'm like, no. I might write a unique, but that's it. I'm not writing any more books. I only wrote Xanus. I had no choice. The gatekeepers locked the doors on me. But my real dream is to be a movie star VJ. It's not being an author. Obviously. He's like, yeah, Ivan, you can write books full time, but writing books is boring. I'd rather be a movie star with you, Ivan. Yeah, being a movie star is a much better job than being an author, right? Like, it's cool to write your own amazing book and the fans love your book, but it's much cooler being a movie star, right? being a movie star is much cooler than being a fucking author. I only wrote Xanus. I had no choice, man. The gates locked everything on me, hence why I had no choice but to write Xanus. And it happens to be a masterpiece. I wrote the best fantasy story ever. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. You guys read Sims my book, you know what I'm talking about, man. The whole book is entertaining like that, man. Yeah, man. Constant entertainment. I'm not lying to you guys. What you guys are reading, the whole book is like that. Like, every volume is constant entertainment. It's constant, because I know how to constantly keep the story pacing and hooking you, because I have the creative gift. Whereas all these other authors that wrote amazing fantasy novels, like Brandon Sanderson, Stephen King themselves. Well, Stephen King's not fantasy. Brandon Sanderson, George R. R. Martin, J.K. Rowling. Those books, they're good books, but there's boring chapters in those books. Whereas all of my chapters, none of them are boring. They're all entertaining reads. Because I have the heavenly gift. I know how to keep you hooked and control your mind. I have the gift from the heavens. Yeah. 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 All right, now second volume 1. We have to get out of here. And I was saying, yeah, with Zolf, yeah. Once Cassius and them, Cassius is like, this is Eretat's territory, and we are in his domain. I'm now sick. I'm saying, yeah. My father told me this during my youth. Furiel is Cassius' father. And like, we have to get out of here, yeah, because they knew they were on marked territory. Obviously, they're vulnerable. They knew they were vulnerable in the south. The Northern's never come to the south. It's dangerous, man. But they only went to the south to look for, because they had to look for Tacitus. And Zolf was like, look, man, we have to get out of this place, man. Like, it's not safe. He's freaking out. And Cassius is like, relax, calm down. He's like, no, I'll not relax. I'm now sick. I'm saying, yeah. What's that noise? It's them. It's the wolves. They're here. Yeah, at least the capture job. I won't spoil stuff for you. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, show us more. No, I'm not concerned about it. I won't spoil stuff for you guys. I already showed you enough. I can't keep showing you Sims my book. You're gonna spoil the plot for you, man. You'll find out when you read the book. I won't spoil stuff for you. Yeah. Ivan, please, man, write books when you're king. No, guys. I know I'm an amazing story about, like, being an author is not my dream. My dream is to be a movie star. I want to be a movie star with VJ. I will adapt the Xanus story. I'm going to bring the Xanus world to life. That's really looking at a masterpiece with Eretendum, demons, and devils and everything. But, like, my dream job is to be a movie star with VJ. It's not to be an author. So that's not my dream. I know all the fantasy nerds are, oh, man, I wish Ivan could write more books. He's fucking gifted. Yeah, I know. But being an author is not my dream. My dream is being a movie star with VJ. Not being an author, I'm sorry. Being a famous author is cool, but it's not as cool as being a famous movie star, right? Being a famous movie star is much better than being a famous author, right? But I had a fun time writing Xanus. I had a blast writing Xanus. Yeah, it was a bit stressing for me, but I had a blast writing Xanus, obviously. It was a blast, obviously. Writing books is also fun, too, right? It's fun, obviously. Yeah. All you aspiring authors are probably asking me, Ivan, how do you do it? How do you write an amazing book? I'm going to be honest, I don't want to give you guys bullshit news. And I know all these authors, they always give the bullshit answers. Like, this is how you construct characters and everything. But if you don't have the gift, you're going to have a tough time doing that. Like, yeah. You need to have the gift, man. If you don't have the gift, you're going to have a tough time paying out a good fantasy novel. That's the truth, man. Yeah, that's why a lot of people struggle to write a novel. It's so hard. Yeah, because you don't have the gift, man. If you don't have the gift, you're going to have a tough time paying out your own fantasy novel. That's how it works, man. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, see. My advice would be take creative writing classes if it even makes a difference, right? Take creative writing classes and practice your writing. The best advice I can give you is practice your writing. Just keep writing and writing, writing. If it's not good, go back and keep retrying, keep writing, and that's how your writing gets better. Take creative writing classes and read a lot of books. Read the greats like Stephen King, Brandon Sanderson, George R. R. Martin, J.K. Rowling. Read all those guys and study how they write the books, and that's how you improve your writing, obviously. So I'm saying, yeah, but I want to know how to write like you. Well, if you want to know how to write like me, you got to have the heavenly gift. If you don't have the heavenly gift, you won't be able to write like me because you don't have the heavenly gift. Don't you know? So yeah, yeah. I want to know how to write like you because like you know how to entertain and entertain the fans. Yeah, I guarantee you, all these authors in the book publishing business, when they read my book, oh my god, I wish I can write like Ivan. If I can write like Ivan, I'd be selling way more copies for my book. Yeah, obviously. But the reason why I'm a money making machine because God gave me all the gifts. That's why I'm a money making machine. Yeah, Ivan can write an amazing novel, an entertaining writer of a lifetime novel for romance, fantasy, and the fans love it. He sells so many copies. Yeah, it's easy for me. Yeah. Ivan, is writing a novel hard for you? No, it's not. Like, I wrote Xanus with ease, man. I'm not lying to you guys. Like, yes, I had a little bit of writer's block, but writing Xanus I did not struggle when I wrote Xanus. Like, I had a few sections where I had writer's block, obviously, but because I have the gift, every day I wrote 5 pages and I read it, and it's a fucking masterpiece. It's easy for me because I have the gift, obviously. I wrote Xanus with ease, man. I didn't struggle writing Xanus. I'm not here on. I'm not lying to you. When I wrote my book Xanus, I did not struggle writing it. I wrote it. I didn't struggle writing it because I'm gifted, man. I didn't struggle writing it. I'm a genius. Creative genius. I have to have the gift. Don't hate me, yeah. I can easily dedicate a good 4 months, and I'll finish their unique if I wanted to. But I'm not going to write their unique because I can't afford to proofread 2 books. It's too expensive. Well, I even write their unique. No, guys, I'm not writing their unique. I'm already stressed out enough. I finished Xanus. I have to get that proofread. I'm not going to write their unique, obviously. But I saved the file just in case I want to go back and revisit it and write the novel. That's why I saved the file just in case. So I'm saying, yeah. So if your book will be self-published, yes. Xanus will be self-published on Lulu. Because the traditional published, I have to sell to the gates. But self-publishing, it's my brand, it's my business. Self-publishing is like your own book business, right? Self-publishing, Xanus is my own book. I'm self-publishing it on Lulu. I'm not traditionally publishing because I'm not selling out to the gates. So I'm saying, and I take 80% of the royalties. They take 20, the Lulu. Yeah. So Ivan, all the book publishing houses wish they can sign you. Of course, once they read sections of my book, they're like, "Holy shit, man! There's something about Ivan's writing that's so unique, and it stands out from all our books." And like, and in the book publishing business, for all the authors, they have the best editors in the business who edit the author's books. Ivan did everything himself, and his book is better than all our books. It's an embarrassment. When you guys read my book, it's like an embarrassment. Yeah, Ivan, it's like an embarrassment. There's something unique about your writing, man. Yeah. That's why all those book publishing houses wishes I can work for them. I wish Ivan can come work for us. He's such a fucking amazing storyteller. Yes, I am. I have the gift, but I'm not selling out to the gates. I'm self-publishing Xanus. I'm not traditionally publishing Xanus. I don't want you guys touching my story and reading my story. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Me, I'm a kind of guy, if I wrote a masterpiece and all these editors started touching my story, I'd be very, very pissed off, man. I'd be very pissed off. That's why I don't like traditional publishing. Because traditional publishing, the editors actually they edit your story. All these big authors like Stephen King, J.K. Rowling, George R. R. Martin, Brandon Sanderson, when they write their books, the editors help them with their story. Obviously. So technically speaking, it's not really like, yes, they wrote it, but like the editors made quite a bit of changes to their story. They had a lot of help. Whereas me, I did everything myself. I had no help. when I wrote Xanus. I wrote it all on my own with no help. And yet my book is better than all their books. It's an embarrassment, yeah. I have the heavenly gift. I'm gifted, obviously. I'm sorry? I'm gifted, yeah. But writing a book is fun, though. Like, I had a blast writing Xanus, but, like, being a movie star is much better than being a fucking author, right? I don't want to be an author, man. It's not my dream. My dream is to be a movie star, Regis, not to be an author, Samsara. And you guys, yeah, I'd rather see you in glory in a movie than read your fucking book. Yeah, reading a book is fucking cool, but it's much cooler seeing Ivan and Vijay in a fucking big budget movie. Like the Xanus movie, like something like Lord of the Rings, right? It's fucking cool. You see me as Prince Tactius, John Vegas as Satori. Look at a sick movie, yeah. Your book is sick, man. I know, John. My book is sick. I'm saying, yeah. Sick book, man. I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. The why is this, man? Are you bluffing? Is your whole book entertainment, guys? Yes, guys. I'm outlining to you guys. My whole book is like that. It's constant entertainment. You're just constantly turning the page. That's why I was just saying you can binge in one day. You can binge the whole book in one day. My book will be that a 700-page book, 750-page book. A lot of fans are gonna binge the whole thing because you can't. My book, you can't put it down. When you read it, you're gonna keep turning the pages. It's so entertaining. It's so interesting. You just keep turning the page. I wrote a masterpiece, man. That's why the Gates want to control my brand, because they know I wrote the best fantasy novel ever. It's a story. It's a billion-dollar story. It's a story with billions. If I wasn't Son of God and I wrote this, I'd be rich, man. A book like Xanus would travel around the world. The news of it would travel around the world, and it'd be out of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. It'd be the #1 fantasy story. That's what my stepmother told me. Ivan, your book is #1, and Hollywood would love your story. She told me that. Yeah, Hollywood would love your story, Ivan. I know, but I'm not selling off to the Hollywood system, man. I have my keys. I don't have to sell to you. This money's mine. It's not yours. I'm sorry. You're not touching my money. There you go. Don't hate him, yeah. Yeah. My story's so good that when I'm king, the Hollywood companies might contact me. They might want to buy the rights off my book, man. I will give you $1 billion for the rights of Xanus. Your story. We want to adapt that story. I'm like, no. Why the fuck would I accept that deal when I'll make way more money making my movie and signing that deal with Amazon? Why the fuck would I accept that deal? But Hollywood might be calling me up and they might want to throw me offers like $500 million, $1 billion, even $1.5 billion for the rights to buy the rights off my Xanus brand. I'm like, no. The Xanus brand is mine. It's my baby. I don't want anyone touching that, man. That's my special story that I wrote. Nobody is controlling that brand. That's my brand. That's my brand, I'm sorry. Yeah. So Xanus is a special fantasy story. Yeah, Xanus is a special book, man. It's a special fantasy story. Yeah, it's a unique story. Yeah. Yeah, there's something about Ivan's book that's very unique. It's special. It's a special story. And I love the whole thing with the Northers and the Southers, the North and the South. The South is cursed. The demon wolves, the demon bad. It's a fucking unique story. Yeah, it's a very unique story. It's a unique story, my book, man. It's a special book. Yeah. That's the symbols in the Bible. How it says the Bible is God-breathed. those who wrote the Bible supposedly they were inspired by the Holy Spirit and to pen down that amazing book. Symbolism of me, God, I was inspired through my gifts, obviously, my gifts to write a special book. Xanus is a special book, man. It's a special story. You'll see everything when you read it. You guys read some of my book. Yeah, Ivan, there's something special and unique about your world with the Norths and the Souths. Yeah, it's a unique story. Unique world building, too. Like, Lord of the Rings has better, deeper world building than mine, but my world building is more unique, I think. The whole thing with the North and the South, the Saurons and all that stuff, the North, like the Saurons, and Demon Wolves, that's more unique than the Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings is richer world building, more lands and all stuff, richer speech and dialogue and language of the elves. I don't have language of the elves and all stuff in my book, but my book's more entertaining, it's a better read. It's a better fantasy novel than Lord of the Rings. But Lord of the Rings has a richer world building than my book. But I think my world building is more unique than even Lord of the Rings. It's very unique. With the North and the South, the North are like the Southerns. Takis is a prince of the North. He comes to the South. They don't believe he's a prince of Xanus. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. And watch out for the haters, Ivan. When I release my book, a lot of fans might hate on me. Yeah, I like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones better. Yeah, if you like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones better, I understand. I highly doubt it, though. Those books are not as entertaining as my book, man. I read Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings is considered the best fantasy novel series ever written. And Lord of the Rings, I showed you guys Lord of the Rings, you've heard of my book, you see a difference, man. Lord of the Rings is a bit more dry and boring. It's a masterpiece. I see Lord of the Rings as a boring masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, but it's a bit boring for me personally when I read it, right? That's what I see. Lord of the Rings, it's beautifully written and a masterpiece, but it's a boring. I see it as it's a boring masterpiece. It's a masterpiece that's boring. That's why I see Lord of the Rings. Because for me, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When I read Lord of the Rings, I was a bit bored, man. I had to force myself to read like some chapters because J.R.R. Tolkien goes on describing all the lands and everything. It's crazy. He doesn't focus much on the character. He focuses more on describing the land. You do that, you can bore the reader. And his book is dry when you read it. It feels dry. It feels like no life has been breathed into the page when you read Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah. And I read all three books. But I didn't read the appendices. I'm like 30 pages into the appendices. I'm eventually gonna finish the appendices. Obviously. When you read Lord of the Rings again, yeah, I don't know, maybe next year I might reread Lord of the Rings again. That way I understand it a bit more. I might reread Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers and Return of the King again to understand it more. Because it's tough to grasp the story of Lord of the Rings, right? J.R.R. Tolkien drags on with his influence. It's crazy, man. Yeah. But some fans might have, yeah, I like Lord of the Rings better. But yeah, if you like Lord of the Rings better, I understand. Art hits everyone different ways, but I highly doubt it, man. My story is way more entertaining, and it's the best fantasy story ever told, man. When you read the book, but some fans might hand me, I like Lord of the Rings better. If you like Lord of the Rings better, I understand. Everyone's had their own opinion, but be honest, man. The J.R.R. Tolkien and George R. Martin and Brandon Sanderson and J.K. Rowling and Steven Erikson Malzahn and Robert Jordan Will Time, did those guys entertain you the way I did? No, they didn't, Ivan. Yes, you were more entertained reading The Last of Us than you were reading those books. That's why I've been bragging to you guys all these years how Last of Us is a better fantasy series than Wheel of Time, Malazan, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and Harry Potter. It's better than all those series, man. The Chronicles of Narnia, better than the Chronicles of Narnia. It's better than all those books. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. Yeah. So you think the world was shocked? Yes. I guarantee when I showed you Sims in my book, you guys were shocked. Because you were shocked by how there's something about Ivan's writing that's unique. And the characters just constantly jump out of the page. It's fucking entertaining. Yeah, and you're hooked. You were hooked when you read it. I was like, yeah. Every time you show us sections of your book, Ivan, I'm hooked. Yes. Xanus is a page, is a hook, man. I know how to do the page hook, whereby you're just turning the page. And you binge the whole book in like 7-8 hours. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. It's an amazing story. It's a sick book, son. Yeah. The masterpiece, Xanus. Yeah. So, Ivan, how book you think? How good do you think your book is, Ivan? My book is so good that I guarantee you, all the book critics. I'm talking to you guys, all you book critics around the world, and all the big book publishing houses who work for those companies, obviously, and all the famous, well-known authors. They were shocked. It was a public embarrassment, obviously. Yeah, Ivan wrote that on his own, and he put our books to shame. And those authors have the best editors in the business who edit their books. And yet their story's not as entertaining as mine. Because those guys don't have the heavenly gift like me. They don't have the heavenly gift like me. That's why their books feel normal compared to mine. I don't mean to be cocky, guys. I don't mean to be an asshole. But the truth is, man, my book is unique. When you read my book and you compare it to your novels, you see a difference, man. My book is more entertaining. The characters jump on a page. These books, when you read it, it feels more dry. The characters jump on a page a little bit, but they're a bit dull. It's a public embarrassment. When they read my book, holy shit, Ivan's get to, man. Like he knows how to hook you. Yes, man. I know how to hook you for an entire novel, like consistent. I know how to hook you consistently for an entire novel. These authors don't know how to do that. They have hooks in some chapters, but in other chapters it's boring. My book, it's constant hook. When you read it, you're turning the page. It's a page turner. You read it, you're hooked. You keep turning, and before you know it, you read 200 pages in. You're still hooked, and you're drawn to the story. And you're on volume 2, and volume 2 is even better. You binge that. And volume 3 arguably is better in my opinion. You binge that too, and you finish the book. Holy shit. I wrote a masterpiece, man. His book is better than all these fantasy novels that came out. Yes, better than all these books, man. It's a masterpiece. Samsara? It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. Yeah. I haven't shown us Volume 3. No. I don't want to show you Volume 3 because Volume 3 is when you get the big plot twist. I don't want to spoil the story for you. That's when it gets very deep and dark. That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is when it gets dark with the ancestors and everything. And that's why I didn't show you Volume 3. That's why Xanus is a horror fantasy novel when you read it. You don't think it's horror at first, but then once you read a bit of the prologue with Tactius and you find that you read about the demon wolves, you know it's a horror fantasy novel because you do see the wolves in Volume 1 and Volume 2. But then Volume 3 is when it gets very, very deep. It's a dark episode in Tactius' life. A very dark episode in Tactius' life. That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is when the story gets very deep. It gets very powerful and it's a big plot twist. That's why I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll start when we read the book. I won't spoil the story for you, some Sarah. Yeah. How deep is Volume 3? Volume 3 is so deep that you have Tactius in agony because he's facing the devil himself. You see how I'm going to read the book. And his Southern friends and like his cousins and all of them, some of them are crying, man. That's how deep it gets. Yeah, it's a deep story. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Biblical level deep, guys. It's biblical level deep. Yeah, it's a deep story. Is Xanus a Bible story? No, but you can get some Jesus symbolism from Tachys when you read the book. When you read Volume 3, you'll see what I mean. You get Jesus symbolism from Tachys, obviously, when you read the book. And Eretats, you get the symbolism of the devil. Obviously, Ephesus is also a devil, too. You'll get that symbolism when you read the book. But it's not a Bible story. It's a fantasy, epic, horror novel. But you can get some Christian symbolism from that. Biblical symbolism from that. Sarah? Yeah. Why'd you put biblical symbols in your book? Well, because I grew up a Christian, right? When I didn't know I was God, I grew up as a Christian. The folks used to take us to church every Sunday. I used to go to church every Sunday. I remember Sunday school; they teach us about the Bible and everything. So because I have my biblical Christian roots, you have some symbolism, some biblical symbolism in Xanus, obviously. Because I grew up a Christian, I went to church and all stuff. That's why you have some biblical symbolism in Xanus when you read it. Yeah. But it's not a Bible story. It's a fantasy horror novel like Lord of the Rings. But you can get some biblical symbolism when you read the book, obviously. Like Lithia has great faith. Papyrus kind of like has symbolism of Jesus' disciple. Tachys takes him under his wing and he trains him, like you read in that passage of Lithia chapter. Yeah. He takes him under his wing. And Papyrus becomes Tachys' best friend. Just like I believe John was Jesus' best friend. When you read the Bible. Because in the Bible it says John, Jesus' disciple, whom he loved the most. So John was Jesus' closest disciple, I believe, when you read the Bible. Am I right, Sam? Yeah, Ivan, you're right. John was Jesus' closest friend. Yeah, John was Jesus' closest friend. When you read the Bible, obviously. It says he's one of his disciples whom he loved the most, I think. It's something like that, right? I think so, yeah. In the Bible. Yeah. So why did the Southerns not believe Tachys was a prince? Because the Northerns never come to the South, and they can't believe that the prince from the Holy Northern Kingdom, the royal kingdom of Xanus, would come to the South, the cursed South. They can't believe it. And so when Tachys told Eli, "I'm the prince of Xanus," Eli didn't believe it. "I don't believe you, Tachys." I'm paraphrasing. Sees him throw him in a dungeon. And then when the bell sounded, that woke Lithia up. And she knew something was wrong, obviously. And she likes Tachys. She has a crush on him when you read the book, obviously. She's like, "Father, what's wrong?" He's like, "Not now, Lithia." She's like, "Tell me." That man, I'm not sick of him, saying, yeah. Yeah. Obviously. When Tachys tells Lithia, "I'm the Princess Age," she says, "I believe you." She has the faith. Whereas everyone else, they don't believe it. That's why Cassius had to give his dad to release Tachys, obviously. You'll see when we read the book. I won't spoil the story for you. Sorry. Yeah. The Southerns know what Eretat looks like. No, they don't. They heard stories about him, horrific stories about him, the Devil Wolf King. They know the bulls live in Barak, but they've never seen Eretat's face because Eretat never touched the lands until Tachys' generation. That's when he says all the humans in the South, wipe him out. Yeah. You have something called the land markings in my book when you read it, right? I won't spoil the story for you. The land markings, right? I don't know. Those are the only lands in your book. Yeah, my world is a small world compared to Lord of the Rings. But when you watch the movie, the world will look big and everything. It's still a massive world, but it's not as big as and deep as like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings has a richer world than my book. way more lands in my book, right? But my world building, I think, is more unique than Lord of the Rings. With the north and the south is very unique. Xanus is a world land in the north, the Holy Kingdom. You have the south is courage. Looking at a masterpiece, yeah. I mean, how'd you get the idea of the North and the South? I got it from Star Wars. Remember, you guys don't remember the game Knights of the Republic? The Star Wars game that came out on Xbox? Yeah, I beat that game like 10 times. When I brainstormed my book, I had that. I remember in the game, they had the upper lands and the lower lands. And I came out with the world of the upper lands and lower lands, and then the North and the South. That's how I came out with the idea. Really, Ivan? Yeah. I got that idea off the game. And I got that idea off the Xanus from the Lucasfilm Arts. Now, Lucasfilm Arts used to own the Star Wars game. I got the Xanus off that. He's just like, Ivan, really? Yeah, I did, Neatus. I got that idea off that. Yeah, holy shit, Ivan. Yeah, that's actually funny. True story, man. I'm not playing around. Yeah, true story. Yeah. Ivan, where'd you get the idea of the Valley of the Dark? I got the idea of the Valley of the Dark off the Bible. Remember David, he says, when I walk through the valley of the dark, I shall fear no evil. That passage, I got the idea off that Bible passage. Because when you read the book, you have the force of Galathea. You have the force of Galathea, obviously. You have the force of Galathea, obviously. Obviously, right? And then when that leads to the Valley of the Dark, and the Valley of the Dark it's so evil you can feel the darkness of the valley. Where'd you get the idea of the darkness of the valley? I got the idea of the darkness of the valley off Bill Weiss's book, 23 Minutes in Hell. All you Christians know about that book, right? Bill Weiss is a guy who supposedly went to hell, and he met Jesus, obviously, when he went to hell. I have the book here. I have his book here. This book here, 23 Minutes in Hell. Yeah, I got that idea off the valley where when Bill Weiss went to hell, supposedly, he said how when he went to hell, he felt the evil of the darkness. I got that idea off the Valley of the Dark off that. You feel the evil of the darkness. Imagine applying it onto the screen. You have this like dark valley that's evil. Because when you read the passage in the captain chapter, obviously, when Tacitones and Cassius get captured by the wolves, as they're in the forest, Tacitones tells Cassius, so this must be the great forest, and Cassius said, yeah, this is the great forest. I'm paraphrasing, and the valley is near. I can feel the evil of the valley. Cassius says when you read that passage, I can feel the evil of the valley, yeah, the darkness of the valley. And once you pass that dark valley where you feel the evil darkness of the valley, now you're in Barak, and that's where all demon wolves live, and that's how horrific and evil Eretet is. That's how when you apply this onto the screen, you're looking at a masterpiece, man. He's alright, he's Brian of the Rings. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, but seriously, you got that idea off that off his book. Yeah, I got that idea off that off Bill Weiss's book when he talked about how when he went to hell, supposedly, he felt the evil of the darkness when hell. I got that idea off that for my book. Yeah. And I got that deal off the North and the South from the Star Wars game. Because the Star Wars game, when you go to Kashyyyk, you have the upper lands and the lower lands. Because the North is also known as the upper lands when you read the book. They call it the North, but Cassius calls the North the upper lands. The South is the lower lands. Obviously, but it's called the North and the South when you read the book. You have the North and you have the South, obviously. That's how it works in my book, obviously. And you have the Northerns who live in Xanus, and you have the Southerns who live in the South, and you have the Demon Wolves and Bats who also live in the South, too. That's my world, pretty much, right? Yeah. So it's a pretty small world compared to Lord of the Rings, but still, it's a unique world. It's a unique story. It's a masterpiece, my book, man. Masterpiece, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I can show you one scene in the captain chapter when Cassius talks about the evil valley. And that's it, guys. I want to spoil a story for you, man. I've been showing you enough, right? I'll show you just that scene, and that's it. Now, I won't spoil the story for you. But this is it, guys. I'm not going to show you more. I won't spoil the story for you, man. You'll find out when you read the book, right? My battery's low. Okay. And when you read this, you're going to be hooked again, because my whole book is entertaining. I told you, man. My whole book is entertainment, yeah. Oh. Why is it not popping up? I'll just say this. Okay, I'll show you guys this part here. This is when they're captured. And I'll show you the next page, and that's it. I won't spoil the story for you. When you read this, you're going to be hooked again, too, because my book's a masterpiece. This is a captured chapter. And this is a scene when Cassius talks about the Horde Valley is near. You can feel the evil of the darkness. Yeah, and I'll show you this page here, and that's it. Pause and read that. And that's it, guys. My battery died. You guys can pause and read it, right? Yeah. And when you read that, you're gonna be and the captured chapter is like arguably my worst chapter. I like it more than Landing Chaos. The captured chapter is a pretty short chapter. Arguably my worst one in volume 2. When you read that, you're still hooked, right? Yeah, Cassius is like, yeah, the Horde Valley is near. Yeah, you can feel the evil of the darkness, obviously, because that's how evil Eretet is. And you also get a similar thing in the mountains. When you journey through the mountains, you have the big mosquitoes that bite the people, and the jaguars, you can kill people because the mountains are cursed too. Obviously. When you journey through Barak, you have the forest of Galathia, and you have the Horde, the Valley of the Dark, where you feel the evil of the darkness. And in the mountains, you have the big cursed mosquitoes who bite the people, and you have the jaguars who guard the entrance of the city because those regions are cursed. And that represents how evil those beings are. Like to get to where those beings live and all that stuff, you have all this craziness going on. The mosquitoes, you have the jaguars, and then in Barak you have to go through the Valley of the Dark. You know what I'm saying? Because those beings are cursed. The south is cursed. Yeah. I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, your book is sick. Yeah, when you read that, guys, were you still entertained? Yeah, I was entertained. And the captured chapters are my second worst chapter in volume 2. It's one of my weakest chapters in volume 2. The captured chapter. Yeah. Yeah. Move it, scum. Yeah, that's sick. I'm saying, yeah, I know. This must be the Great Forest. I'm saying, yeah, I wrote a sick book, yeah, man. And that's it, guys. I'm not showing anymore. I won't spoil the story for you, man. You'll find out when you read the book. Some sound. Are the wolves scary in your book? No, because like they're formidable. Obviously, Eretan's very formidable in the book, obviously, but like it doesn't matter how scary you write a character, they won't be that scary if you read a book. But when I adapt it to the screen, you're looking at something horrific, man. Eretan are gonna be devils and demons, man. When I adapt it to the screen, you're looking at demons and devils. Yeah. Ivan, where do you get the idea of the captured scene? I got the idea of the captured scene from Lord of the Rings. Two Towers, when Merry and Pippin getting captured. Wouldn't it be cool to have Tacitus and Cassius get captured by a fool and his wolves right out? And I also got the idea of them. You must keep them alive, just like Saruman said in Fellowship of the Ring. You must keep them alive. Yeah, and I'm saying yeah. Obviously. That's why my book is sick. And when you guys read that, when you guys are saying too, yeah, I know saying. And the captured chapter is one of my weakest chapters in Volume 2. When you read it, you were still hooked, right? Yeah, Ivan also, yes, my whole book is a page turner. Some sections are not as interesting as others, obviously, but it's entertaining enough to keep you turning the page. Because I'm a genius, a creative genius. I know how to tell a good story. Yeah. Some sound. Yeah. So imagine applying the captured scene to a movie. You have John Maega and Jimo Hansu. They get captured by the demon wolves. They journey through the forest, and like you see Jimo Hansu. He's like, yeah, the Horde Valley's near, and they go through the valley of the darkness. You feel the evil of the darkness, and they go to Barak, and all the thousands of wolves are staring at them, and they're mocking them like, lunch, meat for my tastings, and they're like, and John Maega and them are like scared, and like whenever Tacitonius and Cassius arrive to Barak and they journey through the Dark Valley, Cassius tells Tacitonius, be brave. And all the demon wolves are staring at them and they're laughing. And when Aratat says, good day, humans, all the wolves are laughing at them. Peter's like, Ivan, you're looking at our maps. Because imagine having the capture scene, their demons and that. You're looking at our maps, Ivan. This is going to be the best movie Cheers ever made. This is Brother of the Rings. I know Peter's Brother of the Rings. Ivan Sisterman, I enjoyed more Jerry Toys' Lord of the Rings. I know Peter's Brother of the Rings. You know, Ivan Sisterman, I enjoyed more Jerry Toys' Lord of the Rings. I know Peter's Brother of the Rings. But Cassius is very brave, as you read in that passage, right? Even though he was captured and he's Cassius, even though he fears the wolves, he's very brave. Obviously, he's brave. Whereas Tacitonius is not as brave because he doesn't have the experience that Cassius has. Obviously, Tacitonius has never been in battle. Tacitonius' very first battle was against the fool and his wolves because he's never been outside the walls. Whereas Cassius has experience. He's fought in battles before in the past, as you read in that passage, obviously, right? Not in that passage, but he said, my father told me this during my youth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and he also talks when Tacitonian says these wolves are horrendous. Cassius like destroying a whole land, whatever it is, and Cassius says yes, they're yeah. He says I saw them many years ago. Cassius has experience with the wolves, whereas Tacitonian has no experience with the wolves, obviously. But because he's trained in the art, he's a badass warrior. Obviously, you're gonna see John Boyega. He's a badass warrior in the movie. Looking at a sick movie, yeah, man. A sick movie in the captured scene, yeah. Producer Ivan looking at a power. Imagine all the demon wolves like looking like that, staring at like them, and they're laughing. Like you're looking at a masterpiece, Ivan. I know, Peter. This is Brandon with the Rings. I'll be Brandon with the Rings. Masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. John Boyega, your book is sick, man. I know my book is sick, John. I said, you know. Yeah. So Ivan, even the Northerns fear the wolves, yes. The Northerns fear the wolves because the wolves are devil beings, obviously. They have a fear towards them, but they're brave. When they see the wolf, they're brave and they fight the wolves, but they have a fear of the wolves, man. Because they're devil beings, man, right? Yeah. But they're brave. They're brave warriors, obviously, but they fear the wolves. That's why they never come, that Northerns never ever come to the south. Because it's dangerous, man. They're not welcome in Aratat's territory. Aratat hates the humans, right? He hates the Northerns. Obviously, he hates the humans there when you read the book, right? He doesn't like the humans. Yeah. Especially the Northerns. He doesn't like the Northerns. And that's why Aratat figured out, what the fuck are you guys doing in my territory? You guys fear the wolves. What are you doing here? And he figured out that the prince must be missing, and Cassius had to do his best to hide. He's like, I know nothing of what you speak. Obviously. And then when you read the next of that, the rest of that verse, I won't spoil over you. Aratat sends his crows to Xanus. Yeah, to prove that throw these guys in the pit, to prove that the prince is not missing, go to Xanus and see if the prince is there and all that stuff. And that leads to the scene with when Maramis and them drive the crows away. I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah, they shall not pass these sacred walls. Yeah, Aratat sent his spies to the north to see if the prince is there, to see if the prince might be there, obviously. It's to spy on the Northerns, but you'll see what happens. I won't spoil the story for you, obviously. Yeah, but even Aratat doesn't know what tactics look like, so why the fuck would he send the crows to the north? Send the crows to the north to spy on the people, to see if the prince is there or not. The crows don't know what tactics look like, but he sent them there to spy, to get information, to spy. Hence why you get the scene with Maramis. He's like, they shall not pass these sacred walls. That ties into that passage. I won't spoil the story. That's why I want a masterpiece, man. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Samsara? Yeah. Ivan, do we meet Aratat's father in the book? Yes. Ariad is Aratat's father. He's in the book. I won't spoil the story for you. You also meet Tactius the First too in Volume 3. He's in the book too. I won't spoil the story for you, obviously. Volume 3 is my favorite because that's when the story gets very deep. The plot gets deep. It's a dark episode of Tactius' life. And you also have the ancestors. Hence why I like it the best, obviously, because that's when the story gets dark, it's deep, And you'll find out why I call it The Last of Us when you read Volume 3, and it all makes sense. Yeah, why did I even call it The Last of Us? And once you read Volume 3, okay, I understand why he called Last of Us. Yeah, it'll all come to light when you read Volume 3, right? I won't spoil stuff for you. Yeah. Samsara? Ivan, you're even good with the wolves. Yes, my books and math. I'm an amazing storyteller, man. Even your wolf characters on my page. Yeah, even my wolf characters up on the page. They feel real because I'm a genius. I know how to tell a good story. When you guys are entertaining me, really, Ivan, I'll sit entertaining. Yeah, it was still pretty entertaining. And the captured chapter is arguably my worst chapter in Volume 2. Or Land in Chaos. I like the captured chapter more than the Land in Chaos chapter. Because Land in Chaos chapter is just politics, obviously. So I like the captured chapter better than that. But the captured chapter is like my second weakest chapter in Volume 2. Whereas the more interesting ones, the Lithia one, Tactics of Colonials, and X of Savage, those chapters are very entertaining. The captured chapter is not as entertaining. Land in Chaos is not as entertaining, but it's still entertaining enough to keep you turning the page. I don't have one boring chapter in my book. They're all entertaining chapters. There are weirder ones than other ones, obviously, but they're all entertaining to keep you turning the page. I'm a genius, man. I'm a creative genius, yeah. Samsara? I'm a genius, yeah. A creative genius. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how do you do it? But every time you show a symbols of your book, I'm fucking hooked and entertained. Yeah, man, I'm gifted. Where I told you my book is a masterpiece. I'm not playing around. Every chapter you read, it's constant entertainment, man. There's not one boring chapter in my book. They're all entertaining chapters. There are weaker chapters than others, obviously, but they're all entertaining enough to keep you turning. They're all entertaining. Yeah. Like, I don't know, my weakest chapters in my book are better than probably some of the best chapters in these other authors' books. Because I have the creative gifts. I know how to keep you hooked. I'm a genius. Creative genius, yeah. So, Sarah? I'm a creative genius. I'm gonna take a shower after this. I'm gonna wash my hair and twist my hair. Yeah, because my neighbor is now available. She said she's available to do my hair. So I'm gonna twist my hair, and yeah, I haven't got my hair touched up in like 6 months, which means once she touches up my hair will be huge. My dreads will be longer now. It'll be longer, a bit longer right now. Yeah. Now, if I miss you with your long dreads, yeah, my dreads are growing. You guys can tell. My hair is a bit longer than it was before, but it's gonna take me a few years to get long dreads. Maybe by 2027, my dreads will be long. Maybe by then, end of 2026. I'll have pretty long dreads, obviously. No more short dreads, right? Yeah. So, Ivan, what do you recommend? Self-publishing or traditional publishing? It just depends on what. If you want to be a simple, rich author, then self-publishing is better. If you want to be if you want to do book signing sessions and get interviewed by all these people, then traditional publishing is the way to go. But traditional publishing, you lose control. You lose your controlling right of your novel. The publishing companies now own your novel, and you're their puppet. And if the editors want to change your story and change your characters, they can do that. Whereas self-publishing, it's your own book. You can take your time writing it. You don't have to worry about the pressure. Whereas traditional publishing, they put pressure on you to write your book, obviously. They want you to write a 3-book series. You got to write a 3-book series. You're locked on to write your 3-book series. And the editors, they touch your story. They touch your story. And you don't control your brand. The publishing houses control your brand. You're just a puppet, pretty much, right? Yeah. That's how it works, right? Yeah, man. That's how it works. I'm self-publishing because for me to traditionally publish, I have to sell to the gates. But I'm not selling, hence why I'm self-publishing my book. It's my own business. I self-publish my book on Hulu. And Xanus will be #1 on the charts. #1, yeah, man. #1. Yeah, man. Yeah, so Cassius says the Horde Valley is near. Yeah, Cassius can feel the evil of the darkness of the valley. That's why he says the Horde Valley is near. He can sense it, obviously. Yeah, because that's how evil Artet is. Yeah, the Valley of the Dark has an evil, a darkness where you can feel the evil of it. Yeah, that's why Cassius has an eye say comes in. The Horde Valley is near. Yeah, you can sense it, obviously. Yeah, the darkness of the evil. Yeah, the evil of the darkness. Yeah. 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 That was sick, Ivan. Do not lie to me. Morale, yeah. I was sick. I was at, yeah. He's like, do not lie to me. Hey, what are you two talking about over there? Do not lie to me. You know, I said, yeah, that was sick, Ivan. I know, my book is sick, man. Even the wolf character jumped on the page. Yeah, man, my book's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece. Best pass ever told, yeah, man. So Zane's kind of has that light feel. Yeah, you know how Lord of the Rings, it starts off light when they're in the Shire, and then it gets dark when Gandalf talks about the ring and everything. Yeah, you have something like that for my book. It starts off light and everything. Well, no, the story actually starts off dark because you have the birth of Takis and you have the birth of Faful, and when Faful is born, they have this ritual in Barak. So it's already dark, obviously. But Volume 1 and Volume 2 are lighter than Volume 3. Volume 3 is when the story gets very, very deep and dark. That's why I've been saying for years it's a horror fantasy novel, obviously. When you read Xanus, it's clearly a horror fantasy novel when you read it, right? When I introduce the wolves, it's a horror fantasy novel when you read it. But the scenes with Takis and them and Safis, that's light. And once you read end of Volume 2, it gets dark when Cassius tells Takis, look, Takis, like, somebody, listen to me, somebody doesn't feel, I'll say goes in, the darkness of the wolf's presence draws near. I can feel the edge of my bone. Yeah, that's when the story gets a bit darker. And Volume 3 is when it gets very dark. Really dark. So dark, Tactius is in agony at the end of Volume 3. And his friends, some of his friends are crying and everything, yeah. The women are crying, his southern friends, his cousins, they feel bad for him, yeah. It's a fucking masterpiece, my story, man, yeah, man. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. I'll wash my hair tomorrow. I don't feel like washing it. I'll wash it tomorrow. I'm off Thursday, so I'll wash my hair tomorrow. After my shift at Dinty's. Does Taki's fear Eratet? Yeah, all the humans fear Eratet, man. Because Eratet's a devil, man. Yeah, they fear Ephesus too. They fear Eratet. But like, even though the Northerns fear Eratet, when they have to fight the wolves, they're brave. They're brave when they fight them, but they have a fear of the wolves, man. That's why the Northerns never come to the south. It's not safe there, man. Yeah, it's dangerous. That's why in that scene in the end of Volume 2, like Cassius tells Tacitus, look, man, I found you, cousin. You're the Prince of Xanus. You're too important. Me, you, Tacitus, Circe, Prepare. We have to get out of here. We have to forsake this place. This place is cursed. We're Eratet territory. We're not safe. We need to get the fuck out of here. Run and get the fuck out of here. And Tacitus, yeah, simply for the Southerns. He's like, we can't just abandon you. He also has this obsession with Lithia, obviously. He's like, but no, I can't Lithia. He's like, you meet Eli's daughter. Since you already clarified your feelings, Tacitus. We don't have time for this. Yeah, I'm now sick of saying, yeah. Because Tacitus has an obsession with Lithia when you read the book, obviously. He likes her a lot, yeah. And that's why he's like, cousin, think twice about what you're saying. Yeah, like Tacitus, are you crazy? You really want to have the Southerns come to the North? The Northers don't like the Southerns. Yeah, Cassius knows that. That's why he's like, cousin, think twice about what you're saying. Yeah, because Cassius was willing to just take Tacitus as Suetonius, Circe of Apari, and just ditch the Southerns and he goes north. But he doesn't really care about the Southerns. He has a little bit of sympathy for them, as you read in that passage with Francis, Cleo, and Sebastian. He says, look, head to the north. It'll be safe for you there. But as a Southern, you'll not be welcome. Just tell them Cassius sent you. But even then, and in that scene when they arrived at Sardis, I showed the end of Volume 1, he says these vicious and rotten rolls will pay for this treachery. And then Zolf tells Cassius, general, Southern they were. He's like, I know, but they're also human. Yeah, he has a bit of sympathy with the Southerns, Cassius, but he doesn't really care about the Southerns, obviously, because he doesn't really care about the Southerns. All he cared about was finding his cousin and getting out of there. And he's like, Tacitus, I found you. We got to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, well, my friends, Circe and Apari, he's like, they can come with us. I'm now sick of saying, I know. They can come with us. But telling the others was drawing his attention. Wait, no, but I can't leave Lithia. You mean Eli's daughter. It seems you already clarified your feelings, Tacitus. We don't have time for this. You're too important, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Tacitus is like, no. We can't just abandon people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not our problem, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, at least the extra sounds almost full sore for you, so I'm going to read the book. No. No. Yeah. So Cassius didn't really care about the Southerns. No, the Northerns don't really care about the Southerns, man. That's why he's like Cassius is willing to just take Tacitus, Suetonius, Circe of Apari, and just leave early in the morning and just like ditch the Southerns. But Tacitus, he's now more mature. He has something that sounds, look, man, we can't just abandon these people, man, Cassius, and have the wolves come and slaughter them. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Cassius said, look, man, Tacitus, like, we can't help them. They're not our problem. They're not a problem, Tacitus, yeah. And Tacitus like, no, we can't just abandon these people, yeah. And that leads to the rest of the story. I won't spoil the story for you. So I'm going to read the book. I read Masterpiece. Yeah. But you guys still don't know what's going on because I'm jumping all over the place. You guys have an idea. I spoiled a few things for you guys, but you guys don't really know what's going on, right? You'll see when we read the book. I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah. That's why I'm not showing you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is when you get the big plot twist and everything. That's why I'm not showing you Volume 3. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. You'll see when you read the book. I don't want to spoil the story for you, Sarah. Yeah. So Takius likes Lithia. Yeah, he has an obsession with her, man. He likes Lithia a lot, Takius. That's why yeah. Obviously, like the main reason why Takius chose to save the Selens was because of Lithia. When you read that passage, right? He's like, no, I can't eat Lithia. Obviously, and then Cassius is like, you mean Eli's daughters? He's already clarified your feelings, guys. We don't have time for this. I'm like, Takius, forget about Lithia. I know you like her, but look, man, she's a Southern. She's not our problem. Like, I found you guys, and we got to get the fuck out of here, man. And Takius says no. He said no. Obviously, you read that passage, obviously, right? Fate brought us here. I've now said it. I believe we're here to save these humans off from Eretat's grass. Cousin, think twice on what you're saying. You know, I said, yeah, because Cassius knows that it's crazy. Like, Takius, are you crazy? The Northerners don't like the Selens, man. And that leads to the scene in Volume 3. I won't spoil the story for you. With a huge dispute. Like, a huge dispute going on. Yeah, you'll see why I'm going to read the book. I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah. Yeah. But because Takius is the prince, he says, no, Cassius, that's an order. And then Cassius is like, as you say, Your Highness. He has to listen to him because Takius is the prince of Xanus, obviously. So he's like, as you say, Your Highness, and you read that passage. And the next scene, he's like, Tass, wake up. He's like, oh, what? Can't you see him sleeping? Yeah. That was sick, then, yeah. So I mean, you have nicknames, yeah. Like sometimes, like in that, sometimes when you read the book, they call Takius Tak. Takius calls Papari Pap sometimes. Sometimes they call Taxitonius Tas. They call Lithia Lith. Sometimes they also call Cassius Cass sometimes too. I have nicknames, and the reason why I put nicknames, it makes the characters and the dialogue feel more real, obviously. Whereby they give them nicknames. Sometimes they give them nicknames. Nicknames, right? Yeah. So Volume 3 is very, very deep, yeah. Volume 3 is so deep, once you read Volume 3, it will blow your mind away when you read the book. Hence why I wrote a masterpiece, and you can't top that story, man. No fantasy author will be able to beat the Xanus story. You can't top that. No author kept the reader entertained the way Ivan did, and you can't top that story. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. You can't beat it. Yeah. That's why when I release Xanus, it will be a public embarrassment, and it's such an amazing book. All these authors are gonna feel like shit, obviously, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't top that novel. We can't write a better book than Xanus. No story will ever beat the Xanus story. No fantasy story will ever beat the Xanus story. It's too deep. It's too powerful. It's such a masterpiece. It'll blow your mind away, and hence why nothing will top that story. I set the standard, man, fantasy because I'm a genius. I wrote a book that nobody can beat. No fantasy author can beat. Yeah, it beats Lord of the Rings. It beats Game of Thrones. It beats Way of Kings. It beats Harry Potter. It beats Malzahn. It beats Wolf Time. It beats all those books. Chronicles of Narnia. It beats all those books, man. It's a masterpiece, my book. Yeah, as you guys read today, and you guys read since my book today, you were hooked again too. Yeah, my whole book is entertaining, man. It's a fucking masterpiece. Yeah. I mean, how you do, man? Every time you show us snippets of my book, we're hooked. I know. My book is a fucking page hook. It's an entertaining read, man. It's a masterpiece. When you read it, right? It's a fucking masterpiece, yeah. It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. A masterpiece. I'm sorry? It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. So you can write a screenplay too. Yes, I can. I can write my own movie script too. Obviously, I have the creative gift, but movie scripts is a lot more difficult to write than a book. For a movie script, I need help for that, man. I can write on my own, but for a movie script, it's good to have help because writing a movie script is more difficult than writing a novel, obviously, because that's motion picture. Like every scene, you have to constantly visualize in your head what you want to happen in each scene, and it's a bit more difficult, obviously, because I'm creative and I wrote my masterpiece. I can write my own screenplay too. I'm gonna have Peter Jackson help me out when I write, obviously, and Fran and Guillermo will help me out too with the script, obviously, when we work on the movie. Peter, I don't want you making drastic changes to my story. Okay, I was just saying, no, seriously, Peter, man, I don't want you making drastic changes to my story. And you're gonna ruin the story, and you can piss off a lot of fans. My brand is very beloved. The whole world love my book. You don't want to ruin this adaptation, Peter. Okay, Ivan, we write an amazing script together. Yeah. Please, all right, this is better than Lord of the Rings. I know, please, better than Lord of the Rings. Look at a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah. 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 So when authors give advice on how to write an amazing novel, it's kind of bullshit. Yeah, the truth is when authors give advice on all these aspiring authors how to be a better writer, it's bullshit, man. Because if you don't have the gift, you won't be able to write a novel, man. That's the truth, man. The authors can tell you ideas how to construct characters and everything, but to construct amazing characters, you have to have the creative gift, right? Yeah. Like, no one can really tell you how you write a book. You can't really tell them your magic trick. At the end of the day, you either got it or you not, or you don't, right? You gotta have the gift. Yeah, obviously. Like, you can take creative writing classes. I can help you where I live. I think it's bullshit. It doesn't really help you, but you can take creative writing classes if you want. You can read as much books as you want, obviously. And you can practice. The best way, in my opinion, to be an amazing storyteller is write. Practice your writing. That's the best. That's the best advice I can give you. Constantly challenge yourself. Write a short story and have people review. And if your story's bad, go back and rewrite it and keep practicing. And that's how you get better as a writer. But if you don't have the gift, you're gonna have a tough time writing down a fantasy novel. It's gonna be tough for you. So I'm sorry. That's the truth, man. Yeah. Because I honestly, I'm not lying to you guys. I can't tell you how I wrote Xanus and how I made the character jump on the page. It's just a gift I have. I don't know the trick. I don't know the magic trick that I have to write down. I just have the gift. I don't know how I do it. I can't tell you, right? I don't know, yeah. I'm sorry. But the best advice I can give you is take creative writing classes and read the greats like Stephen King, Brandon Sanderson, and J.K. Rowling. Read those guys and see how they write their books. And after you read those books, obviously, that's how you can practice your writing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Ivan, you weren't as good as you like. No, before my writing was not like on this level. I remember when I wrote my first Islamic story, the story was pretty good. Because I'm creative, it was still pretty good, but it wasn't as good as my writing now. I practiced my writing, and that's how I hone my craft. Because I have the creative gift, I was able to write down an amazing fantasy novel. But that's how I honed my craft. I wrote like 30,000 words. 30,000 words of my previous novel. Xanus is not my first novel I wrote, guys. I wrote a novel before that. I wrote an Islamic novel. I didn't finish the book, but I wrote like 30,000 words. 30,000 words is a good what? That's like 80 pages around there? Yeah, I wrote a good 80 pages worth of that novel. My younger brother told me, Ivan, don't write this book. You're going to offend the Muslims. I decided not to write it. Sounds like, who gives a shit about the Muslims? You should have wrote that book. I know, but I didn't write it, man. Because my younger brother, Ivan, man, if you write this book, you're gonna offend the Muslims. Like, okay, I won't write it. And I decided to write Xanus, Lasso Xanus, my fantasy novel. Yeah. Crazy story, huh? Yeah, I know. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Zayas is unique. Yeah, Zayas is a unique fantasy novel. It's a special fantasy story. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. You guys know what I'm talking about. You read Sims my book, yeah. I mean, there's something unique about your story that stands out from other novels I read, yeah. And a lot of these authors who wrote these amazing fantasy novels, they had help from the editors who edit their book, obviously, and hence why when you read their books, it's less raw. And whereas my book is a bit more raw, as you caught in Some My Dog, obviously, but the characters are on the page. They have the richer words, richer worlding, and everything, but the story is not as entertaining. There's something about Ivan's story, his writing style is unique. And the story's entertaining, and the characters are on the page because I'm a genius. I'm a creative genius. I know how to write a good story. I have the gift. I'm not showing you guys more, man. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. I only showed you the Cassius scene because I talked about Cassius in the Valley. I thought it'd be cool to show that scene. When that's it, I'm not showing you more, guys. I don't want to spoil the story for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How long will your book be, Ivan? Well, my book is at 600 something pages right now. Once they edit volume 3, it'll be like 700 pages. Because you have the spaces, right? So the sentence structures, it'll be like my book will be like a 700 something page book. A 700 like 20 page book or something like that. It's a long book, but because it's such a masterpiece, you're gonna binge it in like 7-8 hours, man. 7, 8, 9 hours, you binge the whole book. It's a masterpiece, yeah, my book. And I might come up with a name for each of the volumes, but I can't think of a good name right now. But I'll eventually come up with a good name for my book. Obviously, I think it's good to have a name, but I can't think of a good name for my volumes. I just can't think of one right now. I have writer's block when it comes to my title right now. I have writer's block. Yeah, I can't think of a good name, but I'll probably come up with a good name for volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3, obviously. And you're welcome, sweetie. I did it, man. I found a way to make money from you, yeah. And when I told you guys I didn't write some shitty book to make money, when I told you I wrote a masterpiece, you guys now believe what I'm saying is true. Yeah, Ivan. We didn't know you were this gifted. Yeah, when I told you guys I'm gonna get the sword, I wasn't playing around. I wrote a masterpiece, man. My book is fucking entertaining, man. It's a masterpiece. What about you guys are like, holy shit, man, Ivan's books are entertaining. Yeah, and the whole book is like that, guys. I'm not lying to you guys. Like everything I'm showing you guys is entertaining. Yeah, it's very entertaining, Ivan. Yeah, my whole book is like that. There's some sections that are not as interesting as always, but still entertaining enough to be turning the page. As the capture chapter is like the second weakest chapter in my volume 2. It's not as good as the Lithia chapter and like Taggers or Colonians and the Axis of Saphius, but it's still fucking entertaining as you guys read, right? When they got captured, move it, scum. Alright, now sick I'm saying, yeah, the Horde Valley is near. Yeah, that was sick. I'm saying, yeah, I know. Amazing storyteller. Do not lie to me. What are you guys talking about over there? Do not lie to me. No, I'm now sick I'm saying, yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. That's why Xanus was the best fans I've ever written. And it'll be the best movie choose ever made when I adapt it, obviously. Obviously, yeah. Some sound. Ivan, how good is Xanus? Okay, I'll tell you this. Xanus is so good that I can't even, if I wrote another fantasy novel, I would have writer's block because I can't top my Xanus story. It's so good I can't even write another fantasy novel because I can't top what I wrote. That's how good it is. I'll tell you a story. I actually did try writing another fantasy novel a couple years ago, and I had major writer's block. I just couldn't. My idea was still pretty good, obviously. But I had writer's block. I couldn't write it. I can't write. For me to write a fantasy novel, I have to write it in the same world as Xanus. Obviously, because the story and the world is so unique, I can't top that. That's why I can't even write another fantasy novel. I have writer's block if I write another fantasy novel. That's how good Xanus is. I can't top what I wrote because I set the standard for fantasy, man. That's how good Xanus is. Yeah, it's so good I can't even write another fantasy novel. A lot of these authors, they have their own fantasy series, and they also write other fantasy series. For me, I can't do that. And if I did write another fantasy series, it wouldn't be as good as Xanus. I can't top what I wrote. It's a fucking masterpiece, Xanus. That's how good it is. You'll see what I mean, remote guys. That's why Xanus will be the best fantasy novel written, and the movie will be the best movie ever made when I adapt the story, obviously. Anyways, guys, here's the video, guys. I talked for now in 4 minutes. That's good enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm going to take a shower after this. I'm going to enjoy the show with you guys with my beer. It's Zadimir. I'm signing out. Peace. I'll make a video for you guys tomorrow after my shift at Ninty's. It's Zadimir. I'm signing out. Peace, guys. Don't hate me, and peace out.